Hello. Good morning. It's morning for me. It's like 7:30 a.m. But hey, it's bright outside. So, what are we going to do today? As I've spoken about a little bit in my other channel, Flow State, the way that I teach yoga classes when I don't have a plan, which is most of the time, is purely through intuition. So, let's do that. Let's find out. And then at the end of the class is when I write, like, oh, this class was about hips, this class was about hamstrings, this class was about strength, whatever. So, give me just a moment to get into that space. Okay, well, I think that this is as good as any place to begin. Seated, with the legs crossed. Sukhasana, easy seated pose. Have a block and a blanket. Starting with some seated cat-cow. So on the inhale, take your hands to your knees and pull your heart through between the shoulders. Lift the collarbones, lift the gaze. Exhale to round the spine backwards. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Let's keep going. One more time. Neutral spine. Great. Interlace the fingers, flip the palms to the sky. Inhale to reach through the heels of the hands, and exhale, take the hands to the top of the head. Elbows bend straight outward. Inhale, straighten the elbows. Exhale, bend the elbows. Feel the sit bones on the mat. Inhale, extend up through the spine. Exhale. Inhale, breathe into the belly. Exhale, navel to spine, contracting. Inhale, breathe into the belly. Exhale, navel to spine. One more. Inhale, arms up, uninterlace the fingers. Exhale, bring the fingertips to the ground beside you on either side. Inhale to draw the shoulders down. Open the diaphragm. Lift the ribs away from the waist. With your next inhale, stretch the neck up. And exhale, drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale up. Drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Back and forth with the breath. Feel it along the arm. Feel it along the side of the neck. Feel it even in the fingers, the hand, and the wrist. One more to the left. And then inhaling back to center. We're going to do some side and forward rolls. Do not roll back. That's just a little bit too much for the neck most of the time. It can be damaging. You can go back, but it's better to do it while you're on your hands and knees. That's a safer position to do that. So instead, take an inhale and exhale, drop the ear to the left. Take a breath here. Exhale, roll the neck down, chin to the sternum. Inhale, up the other side. Exhale, roll down, chin to the sternum. Inhale, up the other side. Back and forth with the breath. One more. Finishing on the left side as we began. Great. Now let's take the hands and grasp the elbows behind the back, or you can grab the forearms. With an inhale, grow long in the spine, stretch the neck up. Exhale, pull the shoulders down the back. Inhale again to grow long in the spine and the neck. Exhale, turn the head to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Just the neck. Center. The other side, back and forth. Center on the inhale. Exhale to turn the head. Feel how this affects the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the space behind the heart, and of course, the muscles of the skull. The skull really, and the musculature there, is what causes headaches. If you can actively relax the muscles of your head, you will not have headaches anymore. One more each side. And come back to center. Release the arms. My fingers get a little tingly doing that. I kind of love it though. Alright, come forward on your hands and knees. With an inhale, now first make sure the hips are over the knees, the wrists are under the shoulders. Spread the fingers as wide as you can spread them. Feel the space between every single muscle, every single bone of the palm. These bones, not the fingers themselves, but these ones. Feel the space between all of those. And feel how they all grip down. The surface area of the palm, the surface area of the fingers. With your inhale, drop the belly, cow, shoulders back, heart forward, chin slightly lifted. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, navel contracts, abdominal wall contracts. Inhale, shoulders back, heart forward, lift the chin, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin, abdominal wall contracts. Inhale, down, forward. Exhale, up and back. Breathing into the diaphragm and abdomen on the inhale, filling the belly with air. Navel squeezing towards the spine on the exhale, releasing all the air. Continue a few more rounds. With your next exhale, push back into child's pose. Bring your fingertips onto the mat with the palms off the mat, so your hands are like spiders.
Spiders. Your hands are like spiders. And the rest of the class I'm going to do an Australian accent.
I'm kidding. That's too much work. Actually, it's not. It's just I don't want to focus on that. Okay. So the hands are like spiders. Let's walk them off to the right, opening up the left side of the trunk. Turn the left kidneys down towards the earth. And take the hands a little further to the right. Feel the opening in the left side. Notice if your hips are shifting to the right and just push them back to the left. And that will increase the opening in the side of the body. And one more breath. And come back to center with your spider hands.
Alright, now off to the left side.
Walking as far as you can. Breathing here into the right side of the trunk. Rolling the right kidneys down. Shifting the hips back to the right. Feel how this opens up the shoulder blade and the rib cage. This allows for more capacity in your energy field, in the container of your subtle body. This also increases the capacity of your lungs. One more breath. And coming back to center. Now taking the hands on the mat, walk them forward and just lift the buttocks, keeping the heart as close to the ground as you can. You can take your elbows down if you need to come up a little bit, or you can take your chest to the ground as I can. Breathing here. Every exhale contracting the navel towards the back of the body, lifting the low belly to protect the low back. Feel this in the heart, in the back of the heart, the space between the shoulder blades. One more breath. Inhale, come up. The hands and knees. And let's take 2 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale to drop the belly. Exhale, curl the toes, lift into downward facing dog. Come forward, aligning the hands so that they're a little further back from the shoulders, just a little bit. And then exhale, downward dog. Let's do that back and forth. Inhale forward, exhale back. Spread the fingers, grip the mat with the fingers. Inhale forward, exhale back. Feel the weight on the hands spread as you come forward. Spread across all the surface area. Your knees can be bent in downward facing dog, but pressing the heels towards the earth and lifting the hips. One more time. Great, and we'll hold here and breathe. Press the belly button towards the toes, but pull the front ribs towards the back ribs. Lift and spread the sit bones while pressing the heels down towards the earth, extending the backs of the legs. Push through the hands to reach the sit bones back and up. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Turn the elbows towards the earth. Press down through the thumb side of the palms. One more breath. Great. With an inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower, elbows by the sides. Hover. Inhale to press back up. Exhale to lower. Hover. Inhale to press back up. Let's do one more of these yogi push-ups. Exhale to lower to the belly. Forehead on the mat. Let's just take the hands back, palms face up. Relax the elbows and the shoulders. Relax the knees and the ankles and the hips. Relax the abdomen and the spine. Bring the chin to the mat. Take the hands under the shoulders and push back to child's pose. Let's come up to a seat and take the legs out in front. Spread the feet as wide as is comfortable. Now, if you have any slumping in the low back, like if you can't sit up straight and tall, you can feel it. Feel it in your body. See if you can feel the tallness of your spine. If you can't, take your blanket, fold it up, put it under your bum, so that you have just a little bit more lift, and that that opens the angle. It basically does this. It makes you lean back. But because your buttocks is further away from the ground, you can lean forward. Your hamstrings aren't as loud. Great. Okay, so we're going to take the arms out to the sides. I'm going to be careful not to smack my guitar. Grow tall with an inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to center, exhale to the right. Inhale to center, and back and forth like this. Reaching for the foot on the exhale, gazing at the backhand on the exhale. You don't have to touch the foot. Keep the arms in a straight line throughout the practice. One more each side. Come back to center. Let's take the legs together. Not close together, they don't have to be exactly together. This is called pulling the rope. So imagine there are two dangling ropes right in front of you. Making fists, not tight, relaxed fists. Sitting up nice and tall. Again, tall spine is very important here. With an inhale, watch the right hand as you reach up. Grasp the invisible rope with your fist and strongly pull down, engaging all the muscles of the arm, shoulder, and chest. Relax at the bottom. Inhale to reach up, watch the hand, grasp the rope, exhale to pull down really strong. This activates all the muscles in the arms, the chest, and the back. So if you want really nice pecs, this is a good practice to do, actually. You can feel it. Feel it in the chest muscle as you pull down, watching the hand. Feel it in the shoulder. Remember to relax the arm once it gets to the bottom. One more each side. Great. Let's come back to cross-legged as we begin. Let's just take a moment here. Feel the breath. Hallelujah. Bless me. Okay. Yes. What is next? Soles of the feet together. You can grasp the toes if you like. You can also just take your hands back behind you and hold yourself up like this, pressing the feet together. As long as you can have a tall spine. Close the eyes. Breathe naturally. Feel the diaphragm expand down on the inhale. And return up, doming towards the heart on the exhale. And keeping this natural breath, begin to move the knees up and down like a butterfly flapping its wings. Feeling into the hip joint. Continuing to breathe naturally. And relaxing, returning to stillness. And then bring the knees together. Grasp beneath the knees, behind the knees, and shift the weight backwards. Keep the heart lifted, collarbones spread, shoulder blades together as the feet lift. And you can stay here, or you can straighten the knees. Now, you don't have to go all the way into this and release the hands to actually get a core workout. Just use the abdomen. Really, we do all this extreme stuff in yoga. However, with awareness, you can get the same result with more ease. So just be aware of the muscles of the abdomen, and you can do that by releasing the hands and squeezing, feeling that abdomen, and then re-grabbing the legs, but keeping the engagement in the abdomen. Gazing between the big toes. And just notice where sensation arises here. Feel the breath continuing to move the diaphragm. Notice the heat being generated in the body. Bend the knees further and grasp the toes. Or the outsides of the feet. I like the outsides of the feet here. Now we're moving into more of a balance challenge. And if you like, you can straighten the knees. If you have the hamstring flexibility, keep the collarbones broad. The front of the trunk open, extended up. And then spread the feet. Breathe here. Bring the mind to the top back of the head, Bindu chakra. And return the feet to the ground. Yes. Do believe a little bit of pigeon is necessary. After that boat pose that we were doing, the hip flexors get used. So let's reverse the inward pull with a little outward push. Yeah. So let's take, this is a good time to have your block handy. I'm going to use a half block because that's what's available right here. And we'll start with the left side. So take the left foot forward. So here's the thing, is if you're doing pigeon pose and you're going to have your leg not fully 90 degrees, then point the toes. Safer for the knee joint. If you're going to have the leg 90 degrees, then flex the toes. Again, safer for the knee joint. The more close you get to the 90 degrees, the more you need your block under your sit bone. This is the same sit bone of the leg that is forward. Yeah. So using the fingertips, straighten my mat. I'd like to just put my hands on my leg, honestly, for this. Or you can do the mat in front of you, or next to you. Yeah, let's do this one. Pressing down and feel the weight come off the block as you extend upward, lift upward. Right hand to put a little bit of pressure on the right hip, just a little bit, so that the space of the low back is opened. Pull the shoulders back, lift the collarbones. Tuck the chin slightly while lifting the gaze. Breathe here. Okay, now let's take the arms forward. Place the elbows on the mat. Breathing here. I was just remarking mentally how it always seems to turn towards the hips for me. Probably because the hip openers are my favorite. They are so, oh my god, they're so good. And there's so much shit that we hold in our hips. So much that needs releasing. However, while I have you here, I'd like to mention something about releasing. So in yoga, the poses themselves release nothing. It opens, creates space, allows us to look into these areas. It is our awareness that does the releasing. By doing a hip opener like this, and say, looking into the space of the hip joint, of the left hip joint, where the head of the femur, the upper leg bone, rests in the hip socket, feeling the opening of the left side and the front side and the back side and just all around the left hip. Feeling into that space, that is directing our awareness to that space. And then when we notice emotions, just notice them. Be intent to keep your awareness directed at the emotion and at the space. By doing so, the emotion will dissolve. Very simple. That's all you need to do. Just be aware of it. Watch it. And breathe. Okay. Take about another breath or two. And when you're ready, press yourself back up. Once you get back up, you can remove the block and also bend the knee so that the left heel is close to the groin, and then bend the right knee and grasp the foot. And bring the foot into the notch of the elbow. Oh. Okay, that little adjustment I just did, my leg was a little far out, and so bringing it in as though both legs are straight back, it allows the hip flexor to open more evenly. So really having your hips both facing forward as much as they can, and both legs, and the leg that is being opened facing back. Breathe in here, by the way. This is mermaid pose. You can take the other arm overhead and grasp the fingers, but I kind of like it here with the hand down. Yeah. Yeah, that one. Just breathing, feeling the opening. Opening the chest, broadening the shoulders and the shoulder blade, and the collarbones. Shoulder blades are in. Imagining from the knee all the way up, and then to the hip, and then up the front of the body. That's the curve that we're going with here. And that's why we're getting a little bit of a back bend here. One more breath. And release. Ooh, mother of God. That was awesome. Let's take the elbows down, grasp opposite elbows. And now, variation of cat-cow. This is one of the lizard poses. With the inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round the spine. Okay, let's come back up. And let's just sit back on the heels and notice the difference between the sides. And also just notice the way that you feel in general. Okay, let's go to the other side. And after all this, we'll take Shavasana, okay? Let's take our block and get it ready on the other side. Bring the right leg this time forward. And again, if the shin is parallel with the front of the mat, flex the foot. And that's better. If it's not, if the knee is bent, then point the foot. I mean, of course, the knee's bent here as well, but you get what I'm saying. You were listening on the other side, right? So before we really get into this, notice the position of your back leg. Notice the position of your hips. Feel that the hips are right next to one another. Feel that the hips are right next to one another and that the leg is straight back. The front of the shin is facing the ground. The front, top, center of the thigh is facing the ground. Let's take our fingertips down and press to lift up, extending through the spine, lifting off the block slightly, extending through the neck. Shoulders are down. Breathing here. Feeling the length in the left hip flexor. Imagining from the big toe all the way up the front of the leg, all the way through the hip, all the way up the front of the body and out through the crown. We're stretching. So we're pointing back with our big toe. So there's no askewness in the foot. You can feel all the way along this length. Breathing into the diaphragm for one more breath. And then bringing the hands down, the elbows down. Breathing here. I don't know what to do with my hands right now. Something for the comments. If you have any hand mudras that you like when you're doing pigeon, let me know. I'm curious. Let's bring the middle and ring finger to touch the thumb together and curl the index finger in. That if you can't see. This is heart mudra. Just breathing. This is our yin pose of the practice. Two more breaths, more or less. Taking some more if you need, but when you're ready, pushing back up. And wait, in case anybody's taking a little bit more time. Okay, you should be back up by now. So now the right heel is bent in towards the groin, and we bend the left knee to bring it up. Rolling the left hip forward and pulling the right hip back, and then breathing here. Feeling again that the stretch goes from the knee, up the leg, through the hip, and up the front of the body. So roll the left trunk forward. Now on the other side I did this same mudra, connecting the index ring and middle finger to the thumb and letting the pinky extend up. This is for Udana, which is the prana, the energy, the wind that moves through the throat and up. It is a motivating, determination-based energy, very powerful force. Inspiring. One more breath. And releasing. Holy Mother of God. Ugh. Wow. Let's take the legs out long in front. Take the hands back. Lift. Spread the collarbones. Shoulders down away from ears. And just feeling the two sides of the body, the balance that we created. Now actually, before we go into Shavasana, I'd like to just lay onto the back and take the feet up above the hips. And you can grab the legs if you want, I'm going to. And feel the weight of the legs pressing down into the sacrum. Okay, here's a really subtle little breath movement. With the inhale, press the tailbone and sacrum down into the earth, creating a little arch in the low back. Exhale, contract the navel, pressing the low back into the ground. Inhale. Exhale. It's basically shifting the weight onto the sacrum and onto the tailbone on the inhale, and into the low back on the exhale, pressing down. Just a couple more rounds like that if you like. And bring the knees into the chest. Feel the sacrum and the low back upon the mat. Breathing into this space. And when you're ready, take the legs out long for Shavasana. Begin to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. When you're ready, roll to a side and come up to a seat. Namaste. So, this is one of the first really good examples of my teaching through flow state, through intuition, that I've done in a while. And I'm actually going to go through and delete, remove, unpublish all of my current YouTube videos. They lack a certain sense of professionalism. And not that I really care much for professionalism, but it's like the lighting and the setup, and I want everything to look good for you. And beyond that, I didn't have the proper intention. So my intention here now is to share with you intuitive-based yoga classes. I was kind of not really sure what I was doing before, and now I'm quite sure. So thanks for watching. Please check out my website, ryanmichaelyoga.org. It's the same spelling as this channel. And also check out my other channel, Flow State. That's FLOWST, the number 8. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. I won't go anywhere without your help. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.